Now we review the 2025 film Conjuring tapes. Do they conjure the tapes? No? Okay, weird. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so, no one could get me a screener of the Conjuring, whatever the latest 2025 version is, but somebody could get me a copy of the Conjuring tapes, which is apparently the mockbuster of the Conjuring. So if VHS had a cheap knockoff, if you've heard the Horde of the Horror Films VHS, it would be the Conjuring tapes. I don't think there's any Conjuring, although there are some like Ouija board things, so I guess there's Conjuring. I mean, you know, you can't copyright the word Conjuring, can you? So the Conjuring tapes is a collection of short horror films being shown to you on tapes by, I think they're two sisters who are being impacted somehow by the tapes. And to be completely honest with you, for a mockbuster, I do have to say it's surprisingly effective. I mean, I'm 100% satisfied with what I got because I had low expectations. I think the big thing is the longest film which stands out at the end, which is this film about a cult that, you know, news people are trying to go and find out about. And it's like, yes, this is a particularly dumb movie because of what's happening, but you know, it's just a movie. It's going to be a movie, and movies got a movie. So what happens in there? It's like they go to this compound and they're all being silly about things. But that's surprisingly effective because cults are real. And in the beginning, it kind of makes it look like a larger thing than it appears to be in the end. So there's a bit of a continuity problem with that. But, I mean, you have a number of short films. Most of them are of reasonably low production value that you could pretty much make in and of yourself. You know, there's one that reminds you of, what was that? I forget the one with the Ouija board, but, you know, the one, God, why can I not remember it? It's the one that they said was haunted, and it's like the girlfriend has the nice rack, and then at the end she killed, whatever. Anyway, it's not important. But yeah, I mean, it's spooky, demonic possession and things like that. Little vignettes. And they remind you of other franchises, so they're sort of clone films. But yes, it's very, very effective in what it is. And none of the segments really outstay their welcome. So The Conjuring tapes is actually a pretty solid horror movie done in the same style as VHS. All right? So it feels like a group of filmmakers came together. They might have had some of these films to begin with, and then they just said, okay, well, what can we do with them? Or that maybe the production company reached out and said, you know, what can we find to fill this, to throw Conjuring on the label so that we can have a mockbuster and make money off the Conjuring franchise's new release. Okay, so if you're looking for Ed and Lorraine Warren, you're not going to get that. If you're looking for some hometown horror, yeah, I mean, this is going to be it. Okay? It's not quite as extreme as VHS was, but it doesn't need to be. You know, so solid enough, upper middle of your watch list. The Conjuring is actually, for a mockbuster, it's really a gem. For a regular movie, it's middle of the watch list. But then, you know, hey, not every horror movie needs to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Some of them just need to be entertaining, and this was. So, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I'm Richard.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Fred the Facehugger, and I'd like to point out that this world isn't a nice place. But you know who's trying to make it a nice place? The owner of this channel. Yes, the owner of this channel does things like pay for ocean cleanup, and have trees planted and even feed orphans in an orphanage in Mexico. Yes, it's a real thing. I'm not kidding. I may be a face-hugging alien from a horror movie, but I'm not a liar. Anyway, when you comment, like, and subscribe, you're supporting that better world, and whereas it may not make a big difference, it may be the difference between one more tree planted, one more pound of trash out of the ocean, or one child not going hungry tonight. So, think about it. Shouldn't you comment? Shouldn't you like? Shouldn't you subscribe? I certainly would if I were you. I'm Fred.